A big thank you to Terry Franz, a.k.a. Car Santa, for stopping by the Big Dumb Fun Show talking about his golf tournament that will be this Thursday at Dub Dread Golf Course here, and it's Bonner Springs.
Yeah, it's in the let me find out the exact information. It's in KCK, but I think he said it was before Bonner Springs and Lansing, in between the two different areas.
And if I'm not correct, tell me, but we've now got 4 for the scramble that we can give.
Yep.
People
That's what
can go
he said.
out that day,
Absolutely.
Thursday,
Big
11
Dumb Fun
o'clock
Show listeners
in the
can
morning,
go
and play
out.
a round of golf at Dub Dread. 4 people.
And we can give it away.
4 listeners.
And we
I'm
can
sorry,
pick.
3 listeners and me.
Yep, it's going to be awesome.
Us 4.
Speaking of the sport of golf, we now welcome a guy named Chris in studio. He's got the sports report. It's called Sports with a guy named Chris. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And what's going on in the wide world of sports this week, Chris?
I mean, really, is there anything other than the Boston Marathon? I mean,
Exactly. Yeah, we touched on it in the very first part of the show, and we said we might circle back around on it, but there's just so much we don't know about it.
And there's a lot of speculation.
Yeah, and so much speculation out there. But one thing we could do, since you just got here, is what do you think? Like, we're going to just do a prediction right now. Think it's foreign or domestic terrorism? What do you think it is?
domestic.
I think it is as well. I think they're going with international.
No, I never said international. I said terrorism.
You can't say terrorism. You have to say, what, do you think it's a psycho like what we had at the movie
Like
theater?
this is kind of
or
like
Sandy
a
Hook?
Sandy Hook.
Or do you think it was a Al Qaeda type terrorist activity?
I don't think it's Al Qaeda.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't think that. I think it's something like the movie theater. Just some guy that went crazy, that has something against runners, a Criminal Minds type
Maybe
situation.
some guy that didn't make the cut.
What about sports with a guy named Chris?
I'm sorry. Go back. Go ahead. And we'll table it and we'll talk about it a little bit later, and we'll find we'll find out more information as the week goes on.
Yeah, I mean, 141 injured now, 3 dead, one 8-year-old, 20 plus in critical condition may die. So that's a pretty big deal. I was going to come in today and just talk about Kobe for my whole segment.
Yeah, because Kobe's out. Is he retired?
Yeah, I mean,
what's
kind
the
of
deal?
a career killer.
What happened? What happened? I have no idea.
He ruptured his Achilles. And nobody comes back from it.
Yeah.
How do you
Not even
do
the great
that?
Kobe Bryant.
I want to go out there and doubt him, so he will prove me wrong. I think that's what he works best with.
How did he rupture it?
Just, he was playing more minutes than he's ever played in his whole career, and he's old, and I think that he just broke down. And I mean, it was just like normal basketball move. It wasn't like he twisted.
It was a game, though?
Yeah. It wasn't like any major thing. I mean, I was watching it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. I was like, and I mean, then the amazing thing is if there was a foul on the play, but the foul is not what did it. But if he goes out right then they can pick whoever they want to take the free throws. There's like 2 minutes left and the game's tied. Mm-hmm. So he walks back out, and it takes him about a minute to make it back out to the free throw line. Knocks down the 2 free throws.
To win the game.
To give us the first lead of the fourth quarter, yeah. And then takes himself out, and that might be the last time we ever see him on a basketball court. So
now, how old was Kobe, though?
He's 34. He'd be 35 when he came back from the injury. The injury usually...
He's kind of getting up there for an athlete anyway, though.
How much is he worth? Forget all that.
Wait a minute. How did he come back out with an injury like that?
I mean, honestly, his steps were each maybe 4 or 5 inches long.
You're telling me he took a minute just to get out to the free throw line?
Yeah. I mean, it took a whole minute.
I would have been crying. He wasn't crying?
Oh, no. He is Kobe freaking Bryant.
And he probably knew.
He's not Superman,
don't they have like a doctor
he
right there on the sidelines the whole game anyway?
Yeah, no.
They didn't go to Jack Nicholson and go, what do you think, Jack?
No, Gary was like,
he ruptured his freaking Achilles.
But, I mean, he's just like...
What's Jack Nicholson going to do now? Is he still going to go to the games?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
He's the season ticket holder.
Yeah, it was depressing as hell.
So
I mean,
what happens to all of Kobe's sponsorships?
Well, I mean, he still has the sponsorships because he's still the Mamba. But, for now, I think that, it's just... We will see.
He's worth, what, $1 billion more?
No, probably more like $500 million.
That's it.
He makes $27 million a year playing basketball, another 25 otherwise.
Are you a golf fanatic?
Yes.
And
I'm a Tiger fanatic.
Okay, you're a Tiger, but do you actually play golf yourself?
Yeah, I play golf, absolutely. I mean, plenty, but I don't play a lot of it. You know, I mean, if I play 5 times in the summer, that's probably a lot.
Why was the thing with Tiger such a big deal? Is it a big deal because it was Tiger? And what exactly happened with him losing
The two strokes?
the 2 strokes.
So what happens is...
Because don't people lose strokes all the time and have 2-stroke penalties all the time?
I think I need to know the story. What's the story?
Yeah, go ahead and give us a little backstory.
So the story is Tiger hits a beautiful shot, I think, on 15. The way the ball's coming in, he'll for sure get to shoot for eagle, probably make birdie no problem. Instead, the ball bounces off the flagstick and rolls back into the water. I mean, like a perfect shot becomes like a nightmare shot. So then he redrops the ball, and when you redrop the ball, you're supposed to have it within a certain. There isn't an actual number, but it has to be on the same line and really, really close to exactly where it was. And instead, where he dropped it was about 5 feet further back. And so the whole thing was
that was his drop.
That was his drop, but where he dropped it, he was kind of it. It could be perceived because there was a divot where he would have dropped it if he dropped it right on the spot. So it could be perceived that he was trying to avoid the little hole, the divot. That's the divot. Just letting you know.
But you get to drop the ball.
Yeah. So then some guy calls from off TV. Somebody that's sitting at home that knows the rules.
Yeah.
Watching.
Calls
the
excuse me,
PGA.
sir.
Wait a
I
minute,
believe
wait a
that.
second. How does he have a number to call? Like somebody's on the golf course and he calls them?
Yes.
There's a hotline out there.
That drop was bogus.
Yeah. Yes.
And the guy he gets a hold of is one of the refs? Or
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
where they have in golf, a
Tim
judge?
Fincham or
How did
somebody like
that
that.
happen?
Yeah, like the president or they have
the
judges.
golf
Yeah.
association?
Yeah.
Was
so
he just working and answered
Just
the
wanted
phone?
to let you know that Tiger's drop was
Yeah, that was
illegal.
ugly. So then they assessed him 2 shots, which essentially killed the tournament for him.
I thought he gets a drop. It's not like he gave
What
it
do
a
you
like
mean
kind
by
of
a
a
drop?
rolling drop.
You
He
get
gets
to-
to walk
so-
out in
But
the
he didn't drop
proximity-
directly above the divot.
Oh,
he
he
was
was-
back a foot or two.
Sure, but he should get to stand somewhere in the vicinity of where the ball. He's not going to be standing in the water.
Yeah, it was.
He could stand in the water if he wanted to.
But-
So the ball hit the flag
Bounce back,
and it bounced back.
rolled into the
Right.
water.
And because it landed in the water, he's not going to go in the water. So at that point in time, Rena, if you're wanting to know why they're dropping a ball, at that point in time, a golfer can take a ball and go to the general vicinity of where it was.
Right.
And is it like you have to stand within a club length? Is that it?
There is
from the
number,
water,
but you're supposed to be trying to drop it on the spot where
where it went
Where it
into
was.
the water.
Right. And right at that spot there was like a little divot.
Yeah.
So
Like
he was
a-
like
like a
a
hole?
little hole.
Little-
And
Yeah,
so
he was trying to dodge the hole.
a little bit. Yeah, I mean probably.
I mean,
And it was all
of
on
course
camera.
who wouldn't, right?
yeah. And then
You know?
again, it's Tiger effing Woods. So let him take a couple paces.
I know. I mean, the tournament would have been a lot more interesting on the last day. So
Yeah.
that kind of messed him over.
So he got 2 strokes, though. I mean, that's still for Tiger. That should be something he.
Well,
could
so he got the 2 strokes, but he also got the 2 strokes on the drop.
Yeah.
because
Now
it
he's
went
out of
into
the running.
Okay,
Yeah.
now he's 4 strokes.
Now
Yeah.
it's 4 strokes for
He's
this
not
one
gonna
thing.
win that.
What he lost by was 4 strokes.
Yeah, he's not going to win that tournament.
Isn't there
now.
like a 13-year-old out there that's
Yeah,
Kicking
the
Tiger
low
Woods'
amateur
butt?
score.
I'd like to
No,
know
he's
how
not
you get
kicking
that
Tiger's
phone
butt.
number.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to call it sometimes and go, can you speed this game up?
Well, you know what? That's what the amateur got cited for and lost a stroke on Saturday and almost missed or on Friday and almost missed the cut
why?
for slow play.
For slow play.
Yeah, and he that put him within right on the edge of the cut, but instead he still made the cut.
I agree with Guneric. I think the most amazing part of this story, whether it be hitting the pole, taking a drop, not dropping in the divot, all of the actual controversy, I think the most interesting part is that there's a dude at home eating potato
I
chips
know.
on a Barca lounger.
Watching it from this big screen TV.
Yeah, he has the balls to say, it ain't gonna happen. Like one guy saw it.
Yeah, and he's got his
All
big
the
Bertha
people-
in his hand.
Yeah,
calls
all-
Commissioner
That's not his
Gordon.
wife.
Yeah, somehow he gets on the hotline and calls CBS or
Puts up the bat signal, the Tiger Woods bat
It's
signal.
amazing. It is amazing how they do that.
Crazy.
Guy
Well, you
named
had
Chris.
to know somebody that knew somebody to get that number.
Bringing the sports report with us week after week after week. Next week, we're going to find out a little bit more about what happened in Boston, and then we'll probably come
Sounds
back
good.
to that Boston Marathon. So the Boston Marathon Massacre, as they're calling it now. Luckily, not that many people died, but a lot of people injured. But we'll talk more about that next week. Guy named Chris, thank you very much for joining us
Thank you.
tonight on the Big Dumb Fun Show.